Assalamualaikum my dear students. Hello, how are you all? Hope you are doing fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. Welcome to NIV's Home School, and this is Ariful Islam, Assistant Teacher of English, National Ideal English Version School morning shift. Today I am going to take a Bangladesh and Global Studies class for class 6 students. Our today's topic, chapter 4, C.Q-5, 6. So let's see. Class 6, subject Bangladesh and Global Studies. Topic chapter 4, C.Q.5, 6, term annual, lecture 16, SW15, teacher Ariful Islam. This is my contact number, messenger ID, and today's date. So let's start the class. So our today's topic is chapter 4, extra creative questions. This is extra creative questions number 5 and 6, annual term lecture 16. So chapter 4, extra creative question number 5. Number 5. The teacher is discussing the population of Bangladesh in the classroom. In terms of population, Bangladesh is in the 8th positions in the world. The teacher further says that the birth rate is high in the poor countries while it is low in the rich countries. Number A question is, how many people live per square kilometers in Bangladesh? Number B, what do you understand by demography? Number C, how does education affect birth rate? Explain. Number D, what is the impact of birth rate discrepancy as mentioned by the teacher in the STEM? Describe. So answer to the question number 5. Number A question is, how many people live per square kilometers in Bangladesh? Answer, 1015 people live per square kilometer in Bangladesh. Number B, what do you understand by demography? Answer, demos means people and graphy means measurement or description or quantity. So demography means the calculation or description of populations. In other words, the calculation or measurement of population related facts of a location or state is called demography. It is also called population science. Number C question is, how does education affect birth rate? Explain. And C answer, in this term the teacher mentions that the birth rate is high in the poor countries while it is low in the rich countries. One of the reasons of birth rate discrepancy is education. Lack of education make the common people ignorant, prejudiced and conservative. Consequently, they cannot understand the bad effects of increasing birth rate. Prevention of the increase of birth rate becomes difficult. In the developed countries, literacy rate is high. Educated people are conscious of income, expenditure and future. So they have a few children. Therefore, high literacy rate results in low birth rate. Thus, education greatly affects the birth rate. Number D question is, what is the impact of birth rate discrepancy as mentioned by the teacher in the STEM? Describe. So our answer will be number D. In the STEM, the teacher mentions the birth rate discrepancy. Its impact is described below. If the birth rate is high in a country in proportion to land and other natural resources, the country fails to provide the people with basic needs such as food, clothes, accommodation, education and health care, etc. National income of the country declines. As a result, problems like food deficiency, poverty, unemployment problem in educational management, ecological imbalance, etc. come into view. Standard of life degrades. Man is attacked with many diseases. This is because high birth rate causes thick density of population, which spread germs first. Ethical values disappear. In a word, if birth rate is high in comparison to land and other resources, it will not be beneficial to any country. On the contrary, if birth rate is low in comparison to land and other resources, the country's resources will not be properly used. Chapter 4, extricated question 6. Mamun left for Dinajpur in search of a job. There he got employed in a tea garden. Since then, he has been working there for 25 years. His younger brother Joy has been living in England for 10 years. What was the populations of Bangladesh in 2001? Number A. Number B. Why has the child mortality rate decreased? Number C. What kind of migration is Mamun's migration? Explain. Number D. How do migrations like Mamun's and Joy's affect the populations? So answer to the question number 6. Number A question is, what was the population of Bangladesh in 2001? The population of Bangladesh was 12 crore 93 lakh in 2001. Number B question is, why has the child mortality rate decreased? Number B answer. Development in medical science and other technologies has resulted in the decrease of child mortality rate. Before the emergence of developed medical science, many children used to die of various kinds of complications and diseases. Besides, many children die during the time of delivery because of midwife mistaken inefficiency or ignorance. Due to the profound development in medical science and people's awareness, this child mortality decreased to a great extent. Number C. In the above stem, Mamun's migration is the example of internal migration. Internal migration takes place within the country. This will be country. This will be Y here. People's migration from village to town, village to village, town to village, town to town, within the country. This will be country. Okay, make a correction here. This will be country. RY after this one. So within the country is called internal migration. However, movements like going to office, shopping, these are not considered as migration. Moving somewhere somewhat permanently for economic purpose is called migration. In the step, Mamun moves to Dinajpur in search of a job. As he has moved within the country for economic purpose, so it is internal migration. This has resemblance with the above discussion. That is why Mamun's migration is called internal migration. So we'll move to number D question. Question is, how do migrations like Mamun's and Joy affect the populations? Answer is number D. In the stem, Mamun's migration is internal migration and his younger brother Joy's migration is international. These kinds of migrations affect the populations. Mamun going to Dinajpur is an example of internal migration because in case of internal migration, the person moves within the country. As a result, the country's population doesn't decrease or increase. This will be not of, this will be or. Doesn't decrease or increase. But where the particular person is living, that place's population will be increased. And the place he left, that place population will decrease. On the other hand, just like stem's joy, due to international migration, people move from one country to another. As a result, the population of the country that person will move to will increase and the country he left will decrease. In conclusion, it can be said that both internal and international migration may affect the populations. So SW15 will be SW15 submit on Sunday. SW15 will be chapter 4 extra creative question 6D. You will do only 6D. Homework 15 submit on Sunday. Chapter 4 extra creative question 6D. So my dear students, do your assigned SW at home and submit on Sunday with an 8 to 4 p.m. in the school library. You will also collect those copies on Sunday with an 8 to 4 p.m. in the school library. You know your SW is very important because we are giving SBS city and diary mark on the basis of the submission of your SW copies. And we are giving 2.5 mark each of your SW copies. So that's all for today. Keep practicing at home. Abide by your parents. Stay safe, stay well. See you again. Till then, Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum.